Hello, my name is CEC. Today I'm giving you a 1 to 99 melee guide in old school RuneScape. Before the video, consider subscribing for future uploads, thank you. The term melee is used to describe the attack, strength and defense skills. Melee is one of the 3 combat classes in RuneScape. It involves using swords, daggers and other weapons to damage opponents, as well as wearing heavy armor made from various metals. Players who specialize in this type of combat are known as warriors. Melee skills attack determines the accuracy of a player's melee attacks and the types of weapons a player may wield. The higher the attack level, the fewer misses a player will incur during melee combats. As attack is a vital skill in melee combat, increasing one's attack level will increase one's combat level associated with the melee. Strength is a melee combat skill which increases the amount of damage a player can inflict in melee combat by 1 point per level. Additionally, strength may be required to wield certain weapons and armor, access some agility shortcuts and complete several quests. Defense is one of the primary combat skills that grants players protection in all forms of combat. The higher the defense level, the fewer successful blows an opponent will land against the player. Defense is thus a vital skill for enduring attacks for long periods of time. A player's defense level also determines the equipment they are able to wear, or other equipment have a defense level requirement. The most important thing in training melee is weapons. Melee weapons fit into many general categories. No type is superior to others, they vary in attack style and speed, damage. In general, weapons of the same tier have the same damage per second ratio, with two-handed weapons dealing approximately 50% more damage per second. Daggers are tied in speed with the scimitars and short swords, and generally the cheapest of all melee weapons. They can also be poisoned. The dragon dagger P++ is a very popular special attack weapon in general fighting and PvP. A dagger is the first weapon that players can smith upon gaining access to a new metal. Swords are able to inflict more damage than a dagger. A sword is a cheap alternative to scimitars for rune and lower metals. Longswords are slower than scimitars and daggers and the same speed as maces, but they have a higher strength bonuses than all three. Although their speed is slightly slower than scimitars, the extra strength bonus and special attack for the dragon longsword make it comparable to them. Two-handed swords are the most powerful of basic weapons, but it sacrifices both speed and the ability to be used with the shield slot, as the name suggests. The use of rune two-handed sword in player killing on free-to-play worlds as a finishing weapon is common. Scimitars are very popular weapons that can hit just as fast as short swords or daggers, and they deal slightly more damage than short swords, but less than long swords. Scimitars are however generally more expensive than the dagger and do not carry the mace's prayer bonus. The dragon scimitar is considered one of the most versatile combat weapons in the game. Maces are slightly slower than longswords, slightly weaker, and use crush and stab. However, maces are unique among other weapons of a given metal in that they carry a prayer bonus, which makes them useful for those who make heavy use of prayer, such as tanks. The dragon mace is mainly used in prayer killing due to its special attack. Warhammers are powerful weapons that utilize mainly crush attacking style. They are not commonly used because of their low speed and mediocre strength bonuses. They offer the same damage as their slashing cousins, the battle axes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the battle axes. Battle axes have slightly higher strength bonuses compared to Warhammer, as I said, of the same metal type, and they use both slash and crush attack styles. They are stronger than longswords, yet slower. They are also weaker than two-handed swords and spears, but attacks faster than them. Halberds are two-handed members only weapons, equally strong and slow as two-handed swords. They have unique ability to reach over small obstacles such as tables, fences, other safe spots, etc. Spears are two-handed members only weapons that are stabbing equivalent of two-handed swords. They are still arguably the most flexible weapon in the game, as they are only weapon to use stab, crush and slash attack styles. Spears however only offer controlled and defensive attack styles. They can also be poisoned, except the Zamorakian spear. Zamorakian, I think I pronounced that correctly. Hasti are the spears that may be used with a shield. The Zamorakian Hasta on stab works ideal against dragons and bosses such as Corporeal Beast. Similar to their two-handed brethren, spears, they are poison poisonable, except as a Moroccan has 10 flexible, which means possessing the stab, crush and slash styles, and they can also be used to train controlled and defense attacks. Claws. Claws are members only slashing weapons that take up shields and weapon slot. The speed of claws are equal of the daggers, and they have higher bonuses. Abyssal Whip. The Abyssal Whip is a very popular weapon among higher levels that is functionally similar to scimitars in terms of speed and has a higher strength bonus. However, players cannot use the whip to train strength efficiently as it only has accuracy, controlled and defense styles and lacks the aggressive attack style. Hatchets and pickaxes. Axes are intended for woodcutting and pickaxes for mining. Although they may be used for melee combat, it is not recommended as the dragon axe and pickaxe are very expensive and they have low speed and accuracy. Melee armor. Warriors have their own sets of armor made out of various metals. Melee armor is resistant to ranged but weak against magic. Bronze armor. Bronze armor is the weakest of all armors and worn only by the newest of the players, requiring no levels whatsoever. One defense is okay, and costing just a penny. Iron armor. Iron armor is slightly better than bronze and it also requires just level 1 defense. It is made from iron bars. Steel armor. Steel armor is slightly better than iron. Steel armor requires level 5 defense to equip and may also be smithed from steel bars. It also costs just few pennies, not that much guys. White armor. White armor does not offer great defense bonuses, although better than steel, but does offer decent prayer bonuses. White armor, however, requires the completion of the quest Wanted to equip. White armor may be bought from Sir Vivian on the second floor of the Falador castle with sufficient White Knight rank, which is received from killing Black Knights. Black armor. Black armor has an evil and dangerous look, but it's not any better than white armor. It is in fact worse, not offering any prayer bonuses. Black armor, like white armor, cannot be smithed, only received as a drop or bought from several shops. It requires 10 defense to wear, as does white armor. Mithril armor is a medium level metal armor, requires 20 defense to equip. Mithril armor offers a decent bonuses for players who can just equip it. It is generally not used by higher level players. Adamant armor. Adamant armor is the second highest smithable armor and in green color. It offers decent bonuses and it is quite cheap, and as such often used by player killers who do not want to risk losing their own armor. It requires only level 30 defense to equip. Rune armor. Rune armor is the best armor for free to play that does not degrade and requires level 40 defense to wear. Although a smith wishing to make runite equipment needs at least level 85 smithing, the runeplay body requires completion of Dragon Slayer to be worn and can only be bought from Oziach or other players. As well can be bought from Grand Exchange though. Dragon armor. Dragon armor is one of the most sought after armor sets, and some of the dragon equipment is often traded for millions of coins. Dragon cannot be smithed by players and it's only members. Dragon armor requires level 60 defense to be worn. Yak hide. Yak hide is relatively weak but valuable against ice trolls, as the armor lowers the maximum hit of the males. Its poor bonuses do not make the armor worth using very often though. Rock shell armor. Rock shell armor has the same stats as rune armor, aside from gloves and boots. It's not widely used due to the difficulty to obtain it and the option of better armor. Bando's armor. Bando's armor is a very strong set of armor providing excellent defense and strength bonuses. Bando's armor is one of the best melee armors in the game. Barrow's armor. Barrow's armor is very strong and popular, and like white armor, the Verox armor set provides a small prayer bonus. Barrow's armor needs to be repaired every 15 hours of combat for a price, so that can be a little bit costly. Granite armor. Granite armor is not so popular choice for armor, requiring not only a defense level of 50 to wear but also a strength level of 55 due to its weight. The granite body and helm have slightly better bonuses than their rune counterparts. Granite is rarely used to its scarcity and weight. Third Age melee armor. Third Age melee armor equipment are very rare rewards from the hard and above clue scrolls. Its stats are higher than dragon and requires 65 defense, but it's very expensive to purchase and hard to obtain from clue scrolls. Justicer Armor. Justicer Armor is the best melee armor for melee and ranged defense bonuses, as well as possessing a powerful set effect. When the full arm set is worn against monsters, it reduces damage taken according to the wearer's defense bonus to that particular style, except magic. However, the armor is very expensive. It also provides a notable prayer bonus. Shields. A shield is a protective item wielded in the offhand shield slot. A shield adds up to substantial bonuses to armor when wielding. Square shields. The square shields has adequate melee and range defense bonuses, but provides less bonuses than the kite shields. Unlike kite shields, square shields are better for mages and archers. Kite shields. Kite shields offer better defense than square shields, although like most heavier armor, it is awkward to use in the combination with magic and ranged. Tok'tet Xil Obsidian Shield. The Tok'tet Xil requires at least 60 defense to wield. It cannot be made using any skills. Anti-Dragon Shield. The Anti-Dragon Shield does not provide much by way of armor. It is indispensable when fighting dragons, as it protects against most of their potentially devastating dragon fire. Dragonfire Shield. The Dragonfire Shield is a high-level piece of armor requiring 75 defense. It provides protection not only from dragonfire but also the ice breath of the skeleton wyverns. Spirit Shields. Spirit Shields are a range of shields available to members. The Elysian Spirit Shield simply has a 70% of nullifying damage you receive by 25%, although it lacks the +7 strength bonus that Dragonfire Shields grants, despite the shield being nearly as powerful as a Dragonfire Shield in defensive bonuses without the consideration of its magical effect. The basic Spirit Shield requires level 45 defense and level 55 prayer to hold. The blessed one requires 70 defense and 60 prayer. The arcane and spectral spirit shields both require 75 defense, 70 prayer and 65 magic, and the Elysian requires 75 defense and 75 prayer. General training notes. The Waterfall quest will give you both 30 attack and strength if completed at levels 3 combat. Strength can be trained without training hit points with barbarian fishing. Defense can be trained by using the ancient magics and long-range or chinchompas on long fuse against maniacal monkeys for more experience per hour than using melee. Once completed, the recipe for disaster quest gives access to the Colomancer's gloves, which significantly boosts offensive accuracy. Players can complete Slayer tasks to train Slayer while simultaneously training combat stats. This also allows players to use the very powerful Slayer helmet, which significantly boosts melee damage and accuracy, to more efficient fight monsters and gain experience faster. This, combined with Slayer giving access to many high-profit monsters and bosses, means that most high-level players seeking to make profit or max their account should train Slayer instead of fighting the monsters on this list, which will mostly be high experience but low profit monsters. When fighting dangerous monsters, it is suggested to bring a teleportation tablet, or if your magic level is high enough, teleportation runes in order to quickly escape. Note that a tablet can be more easily clicked from your inventory and takes up less space than runes for a teleport spell, unless you're using a rune pouch. Equipment choice. Items will be listed in order how much they increase general melee damage per second. In nearly all cases, optimizing for offensive stats is more effective than optimizing for defense or balance stats, especially when fighting the low offense, high HP monsters on this list. In addition, optimizing for strength is usually better than optimizing for accuracy, except against high defense monsters. Head slot items: Serpentine Helm, Helm of Natus Knot, Berserker Helm, Obsidian Helm. All 4 of these items provide the same strength bonus of +3, so choose between them on their other stats, such as their defense or availability. Note that these strength boosting helmets are almost always better than helmets that only provide accuracy, such as the Warrior Helm for general training. Also note that when training Slayer, a Slayer Helm or Black Mask will always provide the greatest damage increase over any of these. Cape slot items in order of effectiveness: Infernal Cape, Fire Cape, and Mythical Cape. If the player does not have any access to any of these, the Obsidian Cape can be used instead due to its moderate defense bonuses. However, it will not increase damage. Next slot items: Amulet of Torture, Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Glory, Amulet of Strength, Amulet of Power, and Amulet of Accuracy. When fighting undead monsters and not using a Slayer helmet, the Salve Amulet and its upgraded version, the Salve Amulet E, are the best neck slot items. Torso slot items: Bandos Chestplate, Fighter Torso, Obsidian Plate Body. Both of these items provide the same strength bonus, but the Bandos Chestplate has much better defenses. Shield slot items: Avernic Defender, Dragon Defender, Rune Defender, Dragonfire Shield, Adamant Defender, and Tok'Ket Xil. When fighting dragons, a Dragonfire Shield is the best melee offhand item due to its ability to block Dragonfire while having a high strength and defense bonuses. However, if Dragonfire protection and high defense are not needed, Defenders are the best due to their accuracy bonuses. As Defenders requires access to the Warriors Guild and thus a combined attack and strength level of 130, for example level 65 in both, the Tok'Ket Xil should be used until that requirement is met. Leg slot items: Bandos Tassets and Obsidian Plate Legs. There's nothing much to say, they're a very great defense bonus. Hand slot items: Barrows Gloves, Dragon Gloves, Rune Gloves, Regen Bracelet, Adamant Gloves, Granite Gloves, Combat Bracelet, Mithril Gloves, all other Culumancer's gloves. Feet slot items: Primordial Boots, Dragon Boots, Guardian Boots, Granite Boots, Rune Boots, Climbing Boots, and Adamant Boots. Ring slot items: Berserker Ring Imbued, Berserker Ring, Warrior Ring, Tyrannical Ring, Treasonous Ring. Ring should be imbued at the Nightmare Zone as soon as possible. Also note that the Warriors, Tyrannical, and Treasonous rings only benefit one attacking style each, while the Berserker Ring benefits all melee combat stats. If the player cannot afford any of these rings, a Ring of Wealth is a decent alternative to help improve rare drop, table rolls, and pick up coins, but it does not increase damage. Weapon choice: some general rules when choosing a weapon. In nearly all cases, choosing a weapon with an attack speed of 6, 2.4 seconds interval will be the best choice for dealing the highest damage per second. Slower weapons almost always give less experience overall, even if they do more damage per hit. Monsters' vulnerability may cause certain weapons to perform better than their stats suggest. For example, most dragons are weak to stab, making the otherwise weaker Zamorakian Hesta a better choice than the Abyssal Whip when fighting them. Check a monster's wiki page to see its defensive bonuses and consider picking a weapon it is weak to. Before reaching 40 attack, it is recommended to train with the highest level scimitar that is available at your attack level. Leaf Bladed Sword is the best melee training weapon at 50 attack, but it has a high 55 Slayer requirement that most levels will not have. Use the sword if you have a Slayer level but not 60 attack. Dragon Scimitar. This is the best training weapon for all attack styles at level 60. In addition, the Dragon Scimitar is much cheaper alternative to all of those weapons listed above, making it very popular even among the some high level players. For attack and defense training, it should be replaced with Abyssal Whip as soon as one can afford and equip it. Saradomin Sword. The Saradomin Sword is a much more affordable strength training weapon than anything above it on the list. Against lower defense monsters such as the Axe, the Saradomin Sword will on average do higher damage per second than the Staff of Death due to its higher strength. However, this sword's lack of a shield and the staff magic capabilities and melee accuracy make that staff usually more desirable if you can afford it. So let's talk a bit about the Staff of Death, the third best one-handed strength training weapon and the best one that uses slash. It is more accurate with a defender than the next best strength training weapon. The Saradomin Sword has lower strength, it makes the staff better against high defense monsters, but it is much less affordable. Also, it is strictly worse than the similar valuable Abyssal Dagger, which should usually be used instead unless slash is needed. Abyssal Dagger, the second best one-handed strength weapon, making the fourth best overall strength weapon behind much more expensive alternatives. It should not be used for attacking training unless a stab weapon is needed. Zamorakian Hesta. This weapon is not generally chosen for everyday training due to only being able to train on controlled or defense. It is both weaker and more expensive than the Abyssal Whip. It is primarily used against monsters with weakness to stab, such as all types of dragons. It also has a decent crush bonus, so it can be used as an alternative to the Abyssal Bludgeon for fighting crush weak enemies like Calphites and Vetion. Abyssal Bludgeon. This is the second best non-degradable strength training weapon. It is very useful when fighting a monster with a vulnerability to crush weapons such as Revenants and Vetion. However, it is fairly high cost and only slight upgrade over more affordable weapons makes it less popular than them. Abyssal Whip. This is the most common training weapon, especially considering its affordability. The whip is the second strongest non-degradable attack and defense training weapon in the game. Using this weapon and controlled is a very efficient way to reach 99 attack, strength and defense. Abyssal Tentacle. While it is the second strongest weapon in the game, the tentacle's high cost per attack doesn't make that good. Grassy Rapier. This is the most effective melee training weapon for all individual skills. In addition, it doesn't degrade unlike the Abyssal Tentacle. However, given its extreme rarity and only slight improvement over other weapons, it is infeasible for most players to use. Other equipment options. Obsidian equipment plus Berserker necklace. Wearing the obsidian plate body, obsidian plate legs and the obsidian helmet gives 10% damage and accuracy bonus to melee obsidian weapons. Wearing the Berserker necklace also gives another 20% damage and accuracy bonus to obsidian weapons. Combining all 4 of these items with a Xilak obsidian sword can actually give faster experience rates than anything in the table above against low defense monsters, such as those in the Nightmare Zone. However, the set has below average defense and does not allow the use of a Slayer helmet. If the player cannot use all 5 items, they should not be using the Obsidian Sword. Void Knight Equipment. Wearing the Void melee helm with a full Void Knight equipment set gives 10% melee damage and accuracy bonus. This bonus accuracy makes it good against certain high defense monsters like Corporeal Beast. It is a good alternative for players with 42 combat stats who do not have access to high strength gear. However, this set gives less strength than other melee equipment and has significantly lower melee and range defense, making it usually worse for training than high strength gear. Dicharok, the Wretched Equipment. Wearing a full set of Dicharok, the Wretched Equipment gives the set effect of increasing the player's damage the lower the remaining hit points are. Using a Dwarven Rock, Cake or Located Orb, the player can intentionally keep their health at 1 HP while using Protection Prayers to block all forms of damage. If a player has a source of prayer or damage block, such as by using prayer potions, absorptions in the Nightmare Zone only, or an altar, the player can safely use the set effect to deal very high amounts of damage and gain fast experience. However, the set degrades after 4 hours of use and must be repaired in order to keep its stats. Gutan the Infested Equipment. Wearing a full set of Gutan the Infested Equipment gives a set effect of 25% chance to heal the player while they deal damage. This set deals much less damage than other options on the list, but it allows players to train for long periods of time without banking to heal. Players can bring the 4 pieces in their inventory, train on the normal high strength equipment, and switch on the Gotan's equipment only when their health gets low. Popular monsters for this tactic are Gargoyles, Nehriels, and Bandits. However, the set degrades after 4 hours of use and must be repaired in order to keep its stats. Okay, now let's talk the training methods for best experience. From levels 1 to 30, your best option is to completing the Waterfall quest at level 1 attack and strength will instantly bring the player to level 30 in each. This quest has no requirements, making the fastest way to training a brand new account to these levels, skipping much of the slow low-level training. However, there are several aggressive and hard-hitting monsters during the quest, so players may want to train some defense and hit points levels in order to make the quest faster. See the Waterfall quest for more information on how to complete this quest. If you're lazy on questing, you can train from levels 1 to 10 at Chickens, northeast of Lumbridge, just east of Rivenlum, south of River Lum in Farmer's Fred Kitchen Coop. From levels 10 to 60, Ammonite Crabs, Fossil Island, you will need to have completed Bon Voyage quest, the best monster for training at low and medium combat levels, very high health targets with low defense and attack ability, meaning you won't need much food if any high in number. easy to group and kill in groups, automatic aggro, meaning there are many AFK spots. Sand crabs, located beach south of the Hasidia's house in Great Coran, Grab Claw Island, Grab Claw Caves. Very high health targets with low defense and attack ability, high in number, easy to group and kill in groups, automatic aggro, meaning there are many AFK spots. Armor and food for low levels. If you are farming on the beach of the Hasidia's house, there is a bank chest near, so inventory space is not a concern. Rock crabs are located north of Relica, Waterbird Island. To access Waterbird Island, you must have started the Fremenic trial quest. If you haven't finished the quest, it will cost 1000 coins to travel there. There are also spots with no requirements. Armor and food for low levels. Camelot teleport tabs or runes will bring you somewhat close. Very high health targets with low defense and attack ability, high in number, easy to group and kill in groups. From level 60 to 99 you will be going to the Nightmare Zone, located north of Yanil, northwest of the bank. At least 5 quests that Nightmare Zone support is required. Monsters are extremely weak to melee, leading to the fastest XP in the game for high level players. Use of overloads gained from the Nightmare Zone points reduces need for super combat potions. Use of absorption potions gained from Nightmare Zone points reduces need for players potion. Points gained can be used for imbued, which upgrades equipment. Can also purchase hair boxes for some profit if done correct. No competition from other players. Nightmare Zone is instance and death safe zone. You will not lose any items upon death, leaving apart from dropped items in the arena. From level 70 to 99, my recommendation is Slayer. Recommendations are 85 combat, to use Nived, Slayer Master, a Slayer Helm, various teleports and quests. The damage and accuracy bonuses of a Slayer Helm often makes killing your Slayer task great with melee experience. Trains the Slayer skill at the same time, letting you work towards the profitable Slayer monsters and bosses. Many Slayer monsters have good drops though. Accumulate Slayer points which allow you to unlock items and block tasks you don't like. And last but not least, I want to talk about the alternative training methods for good experience, and it is Pest Control, located in the White Knight's outpost. Player health and run energy fully restores at the end of each game. Portals have very high health and can regenerate health, providing high amounts of experience. Points gained can be used to purchase Void Knight's equipment or XP in certain combat skills and other rewards. Successfully completing each gains yields a small amount of GP, 10 times the amount of player's combat level. This is it for this 1 to 99 melee guide in old school RuneScape. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe for future uploads, and as always guys, have a nice day.